Hello and welcome to A FAB Journey. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind A FAB Journey, and it's a party time. Well, not right now, but it was at the weekend, and one of those happy, sad days, unfortunately, where one of our long-standing members and his partner were moving away. So we had a leaving party for Evan and Michaela. So real shame that they are moving out of the region, but I hope they have a good move and enjoy themselves where they are moving to on that one. They've been really helpful to myself and my daughter, giving us things like cards, but also deck boxes, dice, metal tokens, etc. So they've been really kind of cool and lovely people to have around, and I wish them all the best in their next stage of their journey with that one. And I say the next LGS that has them will be a very lucky place in that one. Being a special event, we had 20 odd people turning up to the armory this week. So yeah, cool turnout. On the negative side, not everyone was going to get gem packs, were they? When there's that many, unfortunately. But no, look on the positive side of things, folks. Like the fact that I can now turn on my lights when I forgot to turn one in the first place. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, do please like, share, and subscribe. For those of you listening to the podcast as well, like or subscribe on whatever platform you're on, and also let your friends know about it, please, to help the old channel kind of grow a little bit. So let's kick off into the normal sections that we have on my weekly show. First up, the news. Yes, of course, the news this week was the 6th birthday announcement, which boiled down to basically that Sage, or Silver Age, is Project Blue with a couple of extra cards banned, or 6 to be exact. They also announced that Sage would have pre-con decks, which shouldn't have really come as a surprise to anybody that they're coming out. I get a bit surprising is that they reckon that these are going to be tournament winning potential decks, which, let's be honest, all the pre-con decks that they've released previously have not been. So that'll be interesting to see kind of the standard of these pre-con decks when they do actually get announced. Release 18 next year is codenamed Pen, and we'll have a bunch of stuff to support Silver Age, so presumably lots of common and rare armor, for example. But apart from that, we know nothing about it so far. So yeah, in my prediction video, it was going to be a Light and Shadow, so on Monarch 3. So we'll have to wait and see if that does pan out or not. We did get a look at Armory deck Rhinar, a Reckless Rampage, and yes, a new action in this one. It'll be a chest thumping, so another game mechanic for the for Flesh and Blood on that one. So yes, I'll be getting that deck when it comes out, and I'll put it up against the Ara deck and also the Pallades deck to see kind of how well it stands up without any additions whatsoever. So looking forward to that one. And interesting that we've got another game mechanic. I don't know, do we need another game mechanic? I guess if you're new to a game, the more game mechanics there are, the harder it is to understand. So there's a lot of old game mechanics that I come across now, which I've got no idea what they are. So yeah, so I'm a bit sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Conflicted as whether that's a good or a bad idea. But hey, it'll be fun to play with when it comes out either way. They announced a Black Friday deal, which is essentially a 2-card pack that you can get at your LGS if you spend what they said was over 50 or USD or US dollars. I guess that's about $100 in New Zealand. So I don't know if my local game store will get them, because only the top 50% of game stores based on participation will be actually getting them. So I might have to drive over to Hamilton on that day to go and get one if we're going to get one. So we'll have to wait and see which game stores do get those. Finally, they actually also mentioned that the prize fund is going up from 1.5 million to 2 million. They kind of snuck that one in quietly there as well. And the Road to Nationals will start in January next year, a bit earlier than this year when it started in February. So yeah, so that'll kick off then. They took 2 hours to announce all of that stuff. So yes, it took long enough, didn't it? With a bit of gameplay in there as well. Look, and being at 10 a.m. on Monday morning, New Zealand time, that was a difficult time to watch for a lot of people, obviously because of work and stuff. But yeah, let's be clear, they're aiming this at the American market, or the USA market. You can tell that by the spelling of Armory, for example, which is in American English, not in New Zealand English or English spelling for that. So clearly it was targeted for them. But yeah, still to make it easier for me here in New Zealand at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning to watch that one. Is Silver Age going to be a success? Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think that's going to come down to the community, whether people actually play it or not. I don't think that that LSS has got all of the control over that. I think the community has more of a control over that one. So LSS can clearly promote it and push it, but I think at the end of the day, each individual community, the local game stores community, will decide whether it's successful or not. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Moving on then to emptying the wallet. As I think I mentioned previously, I think we've got everything we need for FAB now. Everything we want? No, but everything we kind of need at the moment. So it's becoming a bit more of a discretionary spend than a kind of need spend on that part of things. So again, this week wasn't a special week from that point of view, and so it was just $12, our 2 entries into the Gateway Games Armory that we spent this week. Moving on to the Armory then, and yes, if you read my Substack, because the other way you can get this stuff, because you can read it, you can listen to it, or you can watch it. On that one, I was put off writing this section because I had a shocker, an absolute shocker, this Friday. Kicked off with against Caleb, who was piloting Vincent, and boy oh boy, I didn't get off to a great start. Got behind. I tried bluffing, having pummels to get into overblock. He didn't get suckered into that. He had the lead anyway, and yeah, 0 to 19 was the life totals at the end of that one. Wasn't really close, was it? Let's be honest. So poor start for me there. We then had pizza and stuff between rounds 1 and 2 because of the leading party. And next, I took on Michael with his new Goliath deck. And yeah, that one really was a bit of a grind for both of us. Let's be honest. I think either of our decks were working. Well, mine definitely wasn't working all night. And we ran out of time and we kept playing. And yeah, it could have been a draw. I could have forced a draw, but look, at the end of the day, I was behind. I was losing, so I accepted the loss so we could get on with the evening. To be honest with you, on that one, even though he didn't get me down to 0 life, I didn't actually get. I was happy to give him the win there. Next up, Michaela, who was it was her leaving party. She had been out for a while, and she was playing an unfamiliar Ira deck, her boyfriend's deck, and one of her boyfriend's decks, and. Look, I guess I got things to go occasionally, but when I did get a big hit in, she played 3 Shelters of the Storm, Shelters from the Storm, sorry, which kind of even when you do put a big hit together, when they can block 12 like that kind of easily, yeah, it's a bit hard to win that one. So even when I did manage to get something going, she had an answer for it with those kind of hands, and my deck, yeah, it just didn't work again. So 3 down with 3 losses. Last game, it was the 2 people who were on 0 and 3, so I was up against Lee with his Puffin deck. Now, it's a deck I've played before, and look, we basically know it's going to be a race. At the end of the day, he hasn't got the blockers, and I like playing aggressively anyway, so this was going to be a race, simple as that. So in some ways, it felt more like playing Ira or Syndra, because he got his cogs out and got the go agains going, and boy, oh boy, he kept the pressure up. Well, and yeah, I never got going at all and couldn't get the tempo. So yes, 0 and 4, and last in my armory, the only person who went 0 and 4 for the night. So yes, a bit of a reminder that I kind of I'm new at all this and bringing me back down to earth on that one after a decent armory a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, not so cool, not so good on that one. Moving on to cardboard then, and yes, well. Neither of us were ranked high enough to get any gem packs, and so it was just 2 Super Slam packs that we opened between my daughter and I, and unfortunately there was nothing really in there of any note. To be honest with you, my daughter did get given a nice card, an Ancestral Empowerment from one of our friends over from Road to Roots. That was really nice of them, so thank you for that. And look, the community still continues to be really cracking and good in that kind of sense, really supporting us and being really friendly. So I do love the FAB community that we have in my local game store, and actually also when we've headed over to Hamilton as well. Meta matters. Sometimes you get preoccupied with other things and you forget to take notes, and that's what I forgot on this one. Sorry, folks. Yep, 20 odd people. I didn't forget to get who all the heroes were, but I'll try and be better with my multitasking next week on that one. Yes, there was another person playing Pallades, and Evan won the night on Marlin, so I know they existed but I'm not really sure what else we had there on the night. Definitely 2 Pleiades, 2 Iras. Those ones definitely doubled up. I'm not sure about the other ones though. So what's coming up on the Substack or on the channel, whatever you want to call it? For someone who is look, I'm someone new to Fab, and I do find having these different formats was kind of confusing when I first came into it. So I think I'll write a piece or do a post on the different formats and what I think each one does, which niche it kind of covers, and why it exists on that one. Because I think, and for a lot of people who play or probably follow this channel or do Fab, we probably just tell them what they already know. But I think sometimes it's good to actually get it written down in that kind of format. This weekend it is Armageddon in Auckland, so we are going up to the last day of that one, so that's going to be fun. Card Merchant there are doing a Learn to Play and Blitz tournaments, so hopefully we'll be able to take part in those. Might be able to get my younger daughter as well to try it out. But yeah, looking forward. That'll be fun to take part in one of those tournaments up there while that's going on. And then obviously we'll try and get back to our happy place, which is Gateway Games Armory next Friday as well. So that'll be in that's what's coming up for us over sort of the next week and going up for the channel over the next week. So continue cracking packs, continue shuffling, and continue playing and having fun. And I'll catch you all next time on A Fab Journey.